What's up, world? I am TJ, and this is Nativerezmedia, your place for opinionated tech news, reviews, and entertainment. And today, I will be bringing you an unboxing slash overview review of the Aigo AT 360 all-in-one liquid cooler here. The reason why I purchased this is because my metallic gear Neo Cube tower that I have now, I just recently moved over my components from my old case, which was a little bit small, to that one, and the cooler that I had, the CPU cooler, was a tower cooler. It was the Cooler Master Hyper 212. It's a little bit too big for that case. It sticks out about 2 or 3 millimeters too much. So I needed a liquid cooler to make the clearance. I could have got a shorter air cooler, but you know, why go that way when you can just get one of these more budget all-in-one coolers here. This one is on the budget side, I would say. It's right now, stock, I think it's like $130, $129.99, and there's a 30% off coupon. So it's still not cheap. So you're going to pay a little less than $100 out the door for this right now if you get on it. But compare that to the Kraken or some of the other Cooler Master all-in-one liquid coolers, you're upwards of $150 to $250 for some of them. And based on some of the reviews that I've read and that I have seen, this seems to be an adequate cooler for the price. And quality-wise, I guess what? I'm going to get in here and figure that out myself. So first, I'm going to go over what comes in the box. I'll go over some of the tech specs, things like that. A lot of them are written on the box here. And then get it installed inside the case, kind of do a walkthrough of how to install it. This is the first one that I've ever installed, so I'm more of just a simple air cooler myself, so hey, no liquid for me. But anyways, let's get right into this now. All right, first let us open up the box here. Get my, ouch, did I just stab myself? Kids, don't stab yourself with X-Acto knives. All right, get this open. All right, and then we got the seal still on the side, so never been opened there. All right, and I'll go over some of the tech specs real quick that we have on the back here. So it's got a CNC aluminum housing water block with some RGB embedded ambient light, of course. It has 3 RGB fans, and that water block is ARGB as well. The water pump design on this is a little bit different. It's not built into the water block. It is built closer to the actual radiator up there. I don't know how that works out. So, I mean, I've seen all-in-one coolers before, but like I said, I've never installed one inside of my personal rig or anything like that. It's got a whole bunch of other specs here. I'll quickly run down here. Of course, model AT360, water cooling size 75 by 53.5 millimeters. Radiator size 397 by 120 by 27 millimeters. Rated voltage 12 volts. 12 volts DC. Minimum starting voltage is greater or equal to 5 volts there. It doesn't say DC or anything, but I'm assuming it's DC. Rotation speed 5200 RPM plus or minus 10%. Rated current is 0.20 to 20%. Man, I'm not an electrician. Power consumption, less than or equal to 2.5 watts. Minimum flow rate, less than or equal to 1,000 milliliters a minute. Maximum flow 1.4 meters. I guess that's what that is. And pump noise, less than or equal to 30 decibels. So that is pretty much it, and it has a ceramic bearing, and then of course you have your fans and things like that. I'm not going to go over the specs on those. So what I'm going to do, whenever I get this installed in my computer, I'm going to kind of do some tests before I change it out with the air cooler, the Hyper 212 that's on there. It's open case. Then I'm going to put this one in there, open case, do some tests there. I'm also going to do tests with the stock fans that this comes with, and I'm going to do some tests comparing it with the Asia Horse FS 9002s that I want to put on here to see if there's any difference for me. Now, for someone like myself, I don't do much overclocking. So I'm sure the Asia Horse fans should hold me down just fine, but just in case in the future I want to do some overclocking, of course I will have these fans there if they do perform a little bit better. So just aesthetically, I like the way the Asia Horse fans look, and they are PWM, and you can plug into the CPU header to adjust for that as well. So let's get this taken out here. And we got the block here. It's got like a mirror finish on the water block. Can't really see anything. You have what type of connector here? Your ARGB connector with a splitter. And then you have your pump header there. So we're going to set that off to the side. 3 fans nestled down in there, and I'll open those up and inspect them in a second. And looks like that is it. I'm sure there's some paperwork somewhere around here, but it's probably, oh, I took it out already. Oh. All right, so you got your manual and installation guide, so I'll be utilizing that. This is probably your hardware for your AM4 motherboards, AM3, whatever you're going to be using, and then your Intel style motherboards as well. So I think it did say, you know, what you can use it on, just in case you want to know. All right, on the website, this is for the LGA 1200, the 115X, the 20XX series. It's compatible with AMD's TR4, AM4, AM3 Plus, AM3, and whatnot from there. So, hey, look at there. It's got it labeled here for what you will be installing this in. Let me open this up. I don't want to scare it too much. So it's nice that I don't need to use that. That's 115, TR4, AM4. That is what I need. So that's for AM4 motherboards there. So keep all that to the side. This is probably to mount the fans, 25 millimeter thickness fans, and then you got some thermal paste as well. Cool. Then you got your brackets for your back plates, and then you got your fan splitters and things there. And then I believe this is the RGB controller with a magnet on the back, a RGB controller. So for fan 1, 2, 3, and 4 holds up to 4 fans, and it probably has built-in colors and things like that. You have to have an open SATA connection if you plan on using this. I personally don't have to use this if I go with the Asia Horse fans there, because they have their own hub and own proprietary connection there. So these fans, and that's another thing, you know, cut down on the clutter and all the extra wires. These fans are pretty nice and sturdy. They got rubber on the side. 6 blades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blade fans. Nice and girthy there. What does it say? Young Force B a go, or Aigo. Young Force B Aigo. I don't know. No lie, that's what it says. Young Force B Aigo. Cool. Put that down. Yeah, same thing. All 3 fans. Blah blah blah. Yep, you got your PWM connection on the fans. You have your ARGB with a splitter, so you can daisy chain these together. So that is that. So I got a debate on, do I want to take out my fans, my Asia Horse, and plop them on there first, or just start with the stock setup and go from there. It's always something. Either way it goes, you know, it's work. But I'll figure that out here in a second. you guys just come along for the ride. So we're doing some AMD stuff here. So I got to make sure I know which bracket I need for the AMD to put on the water block here. Let's get my screws. This one looks to be about right. So let's go here, bottom of the water block. And I believe, yeah, so it tells you, so looking at the water block, if it's this direction, you want to, oh, I got stuff going all over the place. You want this to go on this way. Yep, slides on in there. Yeah, it doesn't say which way these indentations are supposed to be sticking out, because I guess I will figure that out later on. I don't, does it, if it matters, that's something I'll find out down the road. So that's pretty simple. So boom, now it is ready to mount. Basically screw it on. You could just use the stock back plate, I'm guessing. For the fans, it's just like hey, fix the fan on the radiator with the screws as shown in the left picture. Lock the radiator with the fan installed in the computer case. So yeah, put the fans on the radiator, whichever side you're gonna put them on. So I'm gonna have mine on this side pushing out because it's gonna be exhaust through the top. And then once you get that on there, you line this up to the bottom of your case like that. Screw, 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 as if you were screwing in all three fans, but you're screwing in the rad there. And that's it. So let me go ahead, get these fans installed, do this, and then get it put in the case, and then I'll come back and yeah, we can go from there. Finally got the AT360 installed inside of my computer. I ran into one little hitch, which was my AM4 stock backplate was missing. I don't know what I did with it. I must have put it in someone else's build, and that was for this motherboard. So digging around, I found my old Hyper 212 box, which was the cooler that I had originally installed on here. And I had an AM4 backplate in there, and it worked out just fine. So I got that installed on here, and that was pretty much it. So if you don't have your stock backplate, look for it if you're going to buy this, because you're going to need that. And that's just for AM4. For Intel, it comes with one. So if you look here, the radiator is mounted kind of backwards here, because I don't have a fan back here, an exhaust fan, so I can do that. There's no room in this metallic gear case for an exhaust fan. So, and the pump is situated close to the radiator here, and not actually inside of the pump like normal Acertec style water blocks, which is different. It's silent. You can't hear it or anything like that. When you first turn it on, you might hear a little buzzing, but that goes away after maybe 10 minutes of letting it run and cycle. That's supposed to help dissipate some of the heat, since the pump is not located on the water block. I don't know, maybe it cools the temperature 1C or something like that. Anything helps. So hey, to be different design, that's nice. I got my 4 screws in here. It's mounted just fine. No worries there. The wires are routed, tucked away pretty nice. If you see here, the actual VRM block here, I have the pump wire running through that, and it's plugged into the AIO header on my motherboard there for the pump there. And then at the top, the ARGB is routed through the top, and it goes into the actual ARGB hub that came with the AIO here. So that was nice of them to include that, but well, they included 3 ARGB fans. So and they are all separate PWM ARGB type of connection. So you have to do all that, and it's a lot more wiring. But with the FS9002 fans that I have installed on here, there's just one single ARGB connection coming from the hub that all the fans are plugged into. So I just plugged it into the ARGB hub that came with the Aigo AT360, along with the ARGB headers from some of my other peripherals here. The water block, the fans, this bar, this ARGB light bar, and the light bar on the front. They're all plugged into the same hub and plugged into the same ARGB header that is on my motherboard. And then I have a second ARGB header that I'm using for this up here GPU anti-sag bracket, which I'll do a video on that later on down the line. And now I wanted to go over the ARGB a little bit. Of course, you see the Infinity logo on the water block there from the brand Aigo, and then you see the ARGB kind of mirror effect on top of the pump there. I have everything on white for now. I'm just going to go through some of the static colors first, some of the ones that I have on here. So you just click through, and I got an Armory crate opened up on my computer, so I'll just click through here. Do some green, some light baby blues, some deep blues, pink, red, let's see, another shade of green there, and back to white there. So, and then let's go over to some of the other effects here. So we got breathing, and of course that water block is going to pretty much do everything that the fans and my GIM light strip over here is doing. If you see it there, it gets pretty bright too for $12, $13. Strobing, color cycle, and then the rainbow effect. You can see on the rainbow effect how each one of the fins kind of gradually changes color. So there's a decent amount of ARGB LEDs built into that water block to blend those colors. So then you got Starry Night here, which this is a custom color that I set up for Starry Night. It's like a blue and an orange that goes around along with the cables and things like that. Then you can have music, which I don't have any music on. I don't even feel like setting that up. But then you got the smart feature, so it's in green now because my computer is not running under a load. If I was to turn a load on, it would go to yellow and then red when it starts getting real hot. And then adaptive color here, basically this is based on the color that is on the screen. So if I was playing a YouTube video on my screen right now, which I'm not, I'm just moving around the Aura Sync panel. If I moved it off, it captures blue because it's picking up the blue pixels behind from the Windows desktop, that kind of like Windows 11 flower. So that's pretty cool. It'll change color depending on what you have on the screen. And then of course you have dark, which it just turns it off, and then all you see is the Aigo logo there. So hey, there you go. So let's go back to static there. And that's pretty much it. And one last thing, since it is plugged into my motherboard, it is using the addressable RGB from my computer, from the software that's built into my computer. The RGB that is built into the controller, I haven't tested that out. I haven't even used the controller yet, so I don't know what that looks like. If you guys want to see that, please comment down below, and then I'll do a short video just swapping over the RGB controller that is built into the Aigo system and then use that. But for now, I'm sure most people that are, that plan on buying an AIO will just plug it into one of the open headers and then piggyback off of that. Thermals with this build are pretty good as well. Keep in mind, this is a 5800X. This is not a cool CPU. This does not run cool. If you want this to run cool, you're going to want to undervolt it. At stock settings, this is just with Precision Boost Overdrive enabled, and your standard. This is 3200 megahertz RAM, XMP profile enabled, things like that. Running Prime 95, of course, I'm getting up until the 90Cs at the package. The normal CPU, the CPU core is around 79, 80, but it would get up to 90C on the package. Running Prime 95. Running Cinnabitch, it might get up until 88, 89 there as well. And that is full load, all 8 cores, 16 threads. It's, a hot CPU. Running standard gaming and things like that, it doesn't get that hot. It might get up to 71 degrees. Doing a Premiere export, things like that, 70 something, sometimes 60, depending on what games you're running or what you're doing. So normal day-to-day use, it's fine. It's stable. It hasn't, shut down on me. If I plan on overclocking, I might have to, do some undervolting and things like that to keep the temperatures in check. But as far as this cooler goes, it's nice. I could have stuck with the Hyper 212, but it wouldn't have fit in this case. And I could have went with a 240 millimeter radiator, but this was not that much more. I mean, a 240 millimeter radiator, even budget, you're going to pay $80, $85, something like that. I paid $90 for the $97, I think, for this, and that was out the door with taxes. So for 10, 15 bucks more, why not just go with a 360 millimeter radiator? It looks better, and it supposedly supposed to have a little bit more cooling capacity. So with that being said, if you have any more questions, if you want me to go more in depth with the temperatures on this, I definitely will. Oh, and then this was my temperatures that I stated. They were with and without the stock fans. Stock fans might have kept it maybe 1 to 2 degrees cooler, but it wasn't that big of a difference. That's why I just kept the FS 9002s on here. Aesthetically, it looks better, and again, my system's stable with them on there, so no worries there. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions about the AT360 AIO cooler here, please comment down below and I'll get right back to you. Be safe. Peace out.